Picture this. It's nearly midnight. Your headlights stretch across an empty road as the trees swallow everything beyond the reach. No cars, no houses, no sound except for the hum of your engine. Then you see her, a woman standing alone on the shoulder of the road. She's wearing a long white dress. Her face is hidden. You slow down. Maybe she's stranded. Maybe she needs help. But as your headlights finally reach her, she's gone. No footprints, no sound, no place she could have run. And then someone tells you something that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. You're not the first person to see her. But here's where the story gets strange, because it isn't just one woman. It isn't just one road. It isn't just one country. For hundreds of years, people around the world have been reporting what appears to be the exact same figure, the woman in white. And no one can fully explain why. Ghost stories exist in every culture. Every civilization has tales of spirits, monsters, and things lurk where they shouldn't. But there's something uniquely fascinating about the woman in white. The details change, the locations change, the names change, yet somehow the image remains almost exactly the same. A silent woman, long, flowing clothing, usually white, often seen near roads, bridges, forests, rivers, cemeteries, or abandoned places. Sometimes crying, sometimes standing completely still, sometimes disappearing before witnesses' very eyes, sometimes warning people of danger, sometimes never saying a single word. It's almost as if humanity keeps telling the same story over and over and over again. Why white? The answer may be more disturbing than you think. Today, we associate white with weddings, but for centuries, white was also represented innocence, mourning, purity, and death. In many places throughout history, young unmarried women were buried in white garments. Burial traditions across different cultures often use pale clothing to symbolize spiritual purity or the passage into eternity. That imagery becomes deeply rooted in society. A woman dressed entirely in white instantly communicates something almost universal. She doesn't seem ordinary. She seems separate, almost as if she doesn't belong here anymore. In England, legends tell of white ladies wandering ancient castles where betrayal, murder, or heartbreak took place centuries ago. Visitors describe seeing pale figures gliding through stone hallways before disappearing into walls. In Ireland, travelers spoke of ghostly women appearing along lonely roads just before tragedy struck. In Mexico and throughout Latin America, stories of a grieving woman dressed in white have terrified families for generations. She wanders rivers and waterways, forever searching, forever crying, forever mourning. In Japan, ancient tales describe female spirits clothed in white burial robes with long black hair, appearing silently to the living. Different continents, different languages, different regions, different religions, different history, yet somehow the same image, the same haunting figure, the same impossible woman. Perhaps the creepiest variation is one you've probably heard before. A driver spots a woman walking alone at night. She looks cold, lost, scared. The driver offers her a ride. She quietly climbs into the back of the seat. Sometimes she gives an address, sometimes she says nothing at all. When the car reaches its destination, the seat is empty. The passenger has vanished. The confused driver knocks on the house. An elderly resident opens the door. He stares silently at the description, then quietly says, "That was my daughter. She died years ago." Versions of this exact story have appeared for decades across different states, different countries, even different generations. Each witness convinced they experienced something real. Skeptics point to psychology. Our brains are designed to recognize human shapes instantly, especially in the darkness. Moonlight reflecting off fog, a road sign, a pale tree trunk, a piece of cloth moving in the wind. The brain fills in missing information remarkably fast. Then comes expectation. If a town has whispered stories about a ghost for 50 years, people may unknowingly interpret ordinary experiences through that lens. Memory itself isn't perfect. Stories evolve. Details change. Fear fills the gaps. Still, some encounters remain difficult to dismiss so easily. People seeing the same figure at the same time. Reports from police officers, experienced outdoorsmen, families with no interest in the paranormal. Many described identical details before ever hearing local legends. Not proof, but certainly enough to keep the mystery alive. Some paranormal researchers believe women in white isn't one ghost at all. Instead, they suggest she could represent a repeating phenomenon. Perhaps certain traumatic events somehow impressions one place. Perhaps witnesses are seeing what some call a residual haunting, an echo rather than a conscious spirit. Others go even further, suggesting that these apparitions are something humanity has encountered throughout history but never truly understood. Not ghosts, not hallucinations, something else entirely. Maybe the real mystery isn't whether ghosts exist. Maybe the real mystery is why civilizations separated by oceans, by centuries, by language, by culture, continue describing almost the exact same woman. Standing silently, waiting, always dressed in white. Maybe she's folklore, maybe she's psychology, maybe she's grief given a face. Or maybe, late tonight, on some forgotten road, someone will slow down their car, see a lonely woman standing in the darkness, look away for just a second, and discover she's no longer there. Or worse, she was never outside the car at all. Sleep well, and if you ever find yourself driving alone on an empty road, pay attention to the rearview mirror. Some stories have survived for centuries for a reason. Have a good day, guys. Bye.